Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 43rd TowerDiveTV Weekly Tournament. We are going to be going into Game 1 here shortly. Sorry about the delay. Technical difficulties left and right, but we are going in right now. And it looks like they may have already done their picks and bans because this is going incredibly fast. But joining me today is Achilleos. How's it going today, Achilleos?
Oh, pretty good, man. I'm just getting ready to, dive in here after this delay that we just had. I'm ready to get in here, get into some matches, and see some amazing plays get made.
Most definitely. And well, I mean, the picks and bans have gone by like a little bit faster than I'm used to, and I'm not sure if we can really talk about bans because they may not be the real ones. But the picks, take a look at those and tell me what you think.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's going by really quickly, so I'm trying to get my bearings right now. So it looks like we have Vayne Caitlyn in the bot lane with Sona Janna support, so that's going to be very, very interesting. Sona making sure that she grabs that exhaust against that Vayne right there. So Vayne looks like she's opting to go ahead and pick up that. She's gonna try to risk it here, get in here against this Caitlyn. So that's gonna be very, very interesting. Looks like she's pretty confident in her ability. Obviously, most of the time if you want to pick Vayne, you try to ban out Caitlyn, so that way you don't have to worry about that immense range, difference in the bot lane. And then looks like we have Diana versus Oriana in mid, and looks like Cho versus Shen in the top lane. So this top lane is going to be very, very passive. Both, Shen and Cho'Gath, a lot of sustain. Um, Cho'Gath, both of their passives, or well, rather, Cho'Gath's passive and Shen's Vorpal Blade giving them immense sustain in the top lane. So this is probably going to be a very slow back and forth tradey type lane. Uh, I don't expect much action to really come of this unless either of them wants to be very over aggressive, or unless the each team's respective jungler decides to come out and help them out here.
Most definitely, and yeah, I'm not sure if they'll either of them will want to, but yeah, I think one of the other interesting I think things, and I just did a tournament last night, and no one picked cleanse at all, and we do have cleanse on Vayne there, and I think it's probably a good play in this case. That is some pretty scary CC coming out from the purple side.
Yeah, they do. I mean, let's see, we have the Elise, we have her stun off of her cocoon right there. Caitlyn, she has her traps. Oriana, I mean, she has her slow, she has her ultimate. Sona's got that amazing AoE stun that just makes her, such a great, engager right there. And then we also have that Shen taunt. So you're right, purple team does have a very good amount of CC, but we also have to keep in mind that we have Janna. She has her ultimate for that disengage. She's got her knock up off of her, she's got her knock up off her Q right there. We have Sejuani with her ultimate, so she can stun every, AoE stun just like Sona. So we have that coming out. Vayne, she's got her wall stuns if she can land them. Diana, she's got that slight displacement where she sucks everybody in. And then Cho'Gath has this knock up. So, blue team is not without their CC in this. And Cho'Gath also has that incredible AoE silence. So if he can get into the thick of a fight with, get a solid knockup on a good amount of the purple team and then get a silence off, especially with a Vayne on their team. Blue team, like I said, if they play this correctly, they can wipe the floor with purple. But it's really just going to come down to a complete matchup of skill in this, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Um, so,
right into those team
we're
fights.
going to see how these guys decide to do it. But like I said, blue team, another thing that they do have over purple is they have that insane disengage from Janna's Monsoon. So, if they get into a bad spot, she can always just pop her ultimate and they can just book it right out of that lane.
Yeah, well, I was talking about it a little bit, I think last time, but I mean, if you look at the top six and maybe even just the top five support champions that are picked in the LCS, Sona and Gianna are amongst those champions, and all of those champions have a really nice AOE ultimate, and it's usually, I mean, Sona it can be used as disengage, engage. But they're all very team fight centric AOE ultimates, and they are not disappointing here with those two pickups. And we'll see how both of these teams with their team fight compositions. Yeah, it really is just going to come down to skill between the two and see which one can come out on top as we go into the loading screen.
Right.
One other striking different. I mean, there's no teleport here on the side of Team Blue, so Shen may be able to take advantage of that and do some split pushing here. We'll see if he can pull that off. But
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that neither Cho'Gath nor Shen decided to opt for the teleport. I mean, TP on Shen is always great because he can always just ulti down to mid or to bot lane and then immediately get back into his lane so that the Cho'Gath wouldn't be able to push. But neither of them has teleport. So if Shen teleports bottom, Cho'Gath his only option is really to push because he can't TP down to support his teammates. So I think that's a very interesting choice um, by Cho'Gath primarily. So I guess he's very just confident that he'll be able to just push in here and get these early tower objectives. So that's really what he's going to be needing to do if Shen decides to teleport. But also, um, we do have to keep in mind that he might just intend for Shen to never get an ultimate off because as soon as he starts channeling, I bet that it's going to be this Cho'Gath's, priority to just get in there and land a knock up on Shen immediately and just interrupt that ultimate because,
yeah,
they might still get the shield, but it's way worse for their team if Shen can get down there and land a taunt on somebody.
most definitely. And I mean, he will also have that silence as well if he chooses to do so. If he's a little more strapped for time, there's only a slight delay on that knockup, but either one will be able to interrupt that. And so he's opting for that ignite to just give him a little bit of extra threat, a little bit extra damage threat here. And we'll see how that turns out as we're going to be finishing up the loading screen. But let's take a look at these skins real quick. Jurassic Cho'Gath, always a fan favorite, I think. But what else we got here?
The aristocrat being coming out there from how's your soup Nazi? These names sometimes.
Right.
And then we have that brand new Sedge skin coming out, so that's always nice to see.
Yes, indeed. But here we are into the game. And as far as level ones go, nothing too terribly surprising. Oops, I'm going to go ahead and rearrange.
It looks like we just have the very standard builds coming out. Both ADCs opting to just pick up Doran's Blade, which has become the standard these days. Um, Probably running Lifesteal Quince if I had to guess. That has become very, very standard in the current meta right now. And then we also have both Shen and Cho'Gath opting for that Doran shield. Like I said, they already have a huge amount of sustain in the lane. Now they're going to have that added, health per 5 there. So it's really just going to help both of them just sit there, take a couple hits from each other, and then really just farm endlessly. And I think that's what we're going to end up seeing here unless they really try to play aggressive. It looks like we're going to blue team going in. They don't quite realize that that bush is warded, so red team has a complete vision on this team right now, and they're moving in. So red team knows exactly where they are right now. So this could be very, very bad for blue team. But instead of taking advantage of this, looks like they might just try to go down here and maybe catch them on the exit. So
Yeah,
this
I
could
mean,
be very interesting.
I originally thought that we might see maybe a delayed blue steal from here from Team Red, but yeah, it looks like they have decided to maybe change their minds here. And yeah, they are going to go in there, are going to catch off two members here with that taunt, and they're going to get off a stun as well from Elise, and that's a lot of damage going out on the Scuba. He is going to go down first blood there, going to the mid laner. And yeah, blue is a little bit out of position right now as Jigglypuff flashes out to safety. But yeah, that is going to put Team Blue pretty far behind here coming into this early game.
Oh, absolutely. That is a huge pickup right there for the red team. Oriana getting a kill very early on is not something that you want happening. She's a champion that if she starts snowballing, she's going to snowball hard, and it's really, really hard to kind of come back from that. But it looks like blue team is going to be able to pick up their blue buff without any kind of contest right now. Sejuani already a little bit low from that scuffle though. So it looks like she's going to have to continue on her merry way and then pay an early visit here to this Oriana because they need to get her shut down and keep her locked down from the very start of this match.
Most definitely. But after that, are going to return to standard lane matchups. We've got Lescuba coming in here to the mid lane, going to try to make up some ground as his lane opponent is sitting on 1 kill and slight advantage in farm. Not really much of a chance to get ahead in farm. But and then we, of course, got Vayne and Janna in the bot lane facing off against Caitlyn and Sona. Just in case you guys hadn't noticed, it's going to be confusing because Caitlyn's summoner name is indeed Vayne. So there's a good chance I'm just going to be calling her Caitlyn most of this game. But thanks a lot there, Vayne, a.k.a. Caitlyn, for making it difficult for us.
You gotta love when they try to screw the casters. This is Sejuani trying to make a play here against this Orianna, to try to get that early kill in there to make up for a bit of a, lost time there, but not gonna be able to really secure that. Looks like she's just gonna opt to go in here and try to get some red farm. Not gonna get those raids despite the fact that they just spawned. So maybe it looks like she's gonna swing up top here and try to get a gank on this Shen and see how it's going against these guys. Right now, Cho'Gath down a little bit in CS, but nothing too consequential. But here comes Sejuani in for the gank.
Yes, and Sejuani is coming in there, is going to get off a little bit of damage there on his Sun. Ooh, the pop-up from Jigglypuff does land, though, and that is going to be a slow as well after the fact. And that's a lot of damage onto Sun, too. He is going to pop healing potions, and actually, no, he's going to go ahead and back off after that, deciding maybe he should grab maybe some more potions as he, currently is only sitting on that Doran shield, and he does not want to risk dying early in this lane. But that is going to give Cho'Gath a little bit of an opportunity to farm up. And remaining lane is actually, we do have a stun landing on Lescuba. Senna jumps in there now trying to escape. The repel does go up, but he's going to come right back down, and actually they are not going to choose to engage on this any further. But another relatively unsuccessful gank in the middle, damage traded back and forth, but overall still nothing doing as far as the scoreboard goes.
Yeah, the presence of Sinner right there really was dangerous for blue team. I don't think they could have really quite stayed in there much longer, or else be at risk of getting blown up. So, good to just try to disengage there, not to get too overzealous to try to make up for, that early death. But right now, Diana, she's just running herself dry because she has to keep farming with her Q, and it's not doing well for her. If you have to farm with your big mana drain ability, especially on a mana starved champion, it's not boding well for you in your lane. So she really needs to try to turn this around a bit. Once she hits level 6 and she has that dash in, she should be able to, get a high amount of burst off on Orianna. She just has to be careful that Orianna doesn't immediately counter with her own ultimate and her own burst.
Right,
so
yeah.
We'll see how she decides to play this as we get a little bit further into the game. Right now, she's only down by 4 CS, so she is doing a good job of farming up. Looks like Orianna might be just her, focusing a little bit more on harassing with her autos rather than last hitting. So we'll just see if she can kind of, keep up with her in farm, close that gold deficit that she's currently in, and then really get back into this hard and just start bursting people down.
Yeah, it looks like in the meanwhile in the bottom lane, Team Blue is being pushed back fairly hard. Sona doing a real good job of harassing them in the bot lane. Sejuani is there for moral support right now, as both of them, House Soup Nazi as well as Janna, there are very low. But with the ward coverage coming out from Red here, Sejuani may find herself in a counter gank situation as they are going to jump in here. Vayne at full health there. Sejuani going to look at trying to get onto a front line, but Sona is going to use that flash to get out of there. And now Elise is in the area. Troll Police trying to get out of there, but is going to get stunned and brought down very low. The heal comes out, though, and that is going to keep them alive. A clutch heal coming out there from Janna to keep her teammates aligned, and they are going to flee underneath here, although now it looks like Soup Nazi being caught a little bit out of position. Sona looking to just be as annoying as possible there in the bottom lane. And although they didn't pick up a kill, they did force that heal, and they are going to get this tower. So overall, a nice counter gank here in the bot lane.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just a kind of poor decision on them to go in when they were so low. Like, all members were so low, except for Sejuani. So for them to really try to just charge in right there wasn't a good look, but it looks like Shen and Cho'Gath are going to have a little scuffle in the top lane.
Yes, indeed. Ignites go out from both of them. Jigglypuff being brought so low and flashes out of there, but it is futile as he goes down. Lescuba tries to get in there in the meantime in the mid lane and is actually doing a fairly good job of trading some damage here. With Fish Pump and Yeah, but action all across the map. But there's the second kill, the first kill after first blood. Even though we've had a lot of action, Shen picking up that first kill on a Cho'Gath here in the top lane.
Yeah, very interesting pick up here by Shen. He actually opted to go for a Doran's Blade, just giving him a little bit more AD. I guess he just, he figures that as he's going in here and getting these autos off on Cho'Gath, that he wants to deal a little bit more damage. So now he's pumping out, a good amount of just both magic and AD, and he's also getting that extra sustained damage. So not only are his Vorpal Blades giving him that regen when he hits the full-bladed target, but he's also getting that base regen off of the Doran's Blade. So his sustain is through the roof right now compared to Cho'Gath, even though Cho is coming in with this Philo Stone and his passive.
Yes.
Bot lane, we have a fight breaking out right
We
now.
do, yeah. Rail getting a little bit out of position there is going to take a lot of damage from those auto attacks of Vayne. And the Soup Nazi not doing too healthy herself, was able to position herself a little bit better, but now she is turning on front line there, doing quite a bit of damage. Did get off a Silver Bolt, or did not actually quite get off that Silver Bolt proc there in the end, but did get off a crit earlier, so doing a fair amount of damage to Sona, but Sona going to be able to heal up fairly quickly, and with low rail, there's not much you can do about that as, yeah, continuing to zone out this blue team. Vayne, excuse me, Caitlyn and Frontline doing a very good job in the bot lane.
Yeah, that's a good thing to clarify. This Caitlyn really trying to mess with us right here by calling herself Vayne. So we'll do our best to keep them not mixed up in the team fights here. Looks like Vayne's gonna go in on Vayne though. Exchange a little bit of damage, but gonna walk away here. The actual Vayne taking a little bit more damage than Caitlyn actually did. But Sejuani coming down here trying to make some plays happen. But looks like she's just gonna get spotted out by that pink ward in the river. And as we can see, red. Blue has only one ward right now, and or two wards right now. It looks like we have one in the bot forward bush, and then we have one in river in between, in top, in between that top and the tri bush there. Blue team not having a whole lot of vision, whereas red team has opted to, they have that forward bot bush warded, they have their river bush warded, and they also have dragon pink warded. And now Blue, deciding to throw one in that tri bush right there, but it's just. Blue not having a lot of vision, which is something that they really need to have. This Janna right now, she's got her Philo, so she's racking up a little bit of gold right now. She's sitting at about 600, but she still just needs to opt to buy more wards here.
Yeah.
Sejuani might come in for this dragon right now.
Yeah, looks like actually Team Red, Shenel does come out onto Senna, so it will be a 5v4 if they choose to engage. And yes, Lascuba just being melted there, or at least picking up that kill. And yeah, they didn't have any ward coverage, so Team Blue really just peeked in and tried to get some action there. But they were way out of position, and they lost a member and the dragon in the end. 3-0, 1-0 in turrets, and yeah, over 3K gold lead here for Team Red.
Yeah, so far this is rolling really, really well for red right now. I mean, like you said, they're sitting at, at about a 3.3k gold advantage. And by the way, Gilfrost, looks like we might have a slight bit of audio complication with my microphone. People saying that they can't hear me.
Ooh, let me see if
so
I can
don't know
fix
if there's
that.
something that you can do right now.
Oops, that's not it.
Get that fixed, but.
Alrighty, how does that sound? Is that a little better? Everyone, let us know.
All right, here I'm.
Oh yeah, you're up.
I'm up.
Yes.
All right.
So whether or not it's enough, I guess, is the real question. But yeah, anyway.
An echo.
Yeah, right.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. No, thanks for keeping tabs on that too. Yeah. Hey.
KILLI, welcome to Tower Dive Weekly number 43.
But anyway, yeah. So I woke up. Well, I woke up for a meeting earlier today, but then I woke up at half hour before the stream was supposed to start because I didn't think I would had to. I didn't think I actually had to stream this. I thought I was just casting, and then apparently I had to do some very last minute preparations to get this going. So yeah, if there is any feedback that you have, we want to make sure this is looking and sounding good. But anyway, yeah.
I think it's going to be quite all right. I mean, the match has been, been plenty busy enough to keep everybody occupied and not worried about me not talking. So just for a quick catch up for everybody, since you can hear us before, right now, red team 3-0. They have a very, very solid lead right now, stretching into the 3.2k gold range, and they're also a turret up right now. So blue team really needs to, sustain some farm right here. They need to try to take a couple turrets and maybe get the next dragon here, and that'll really help them come back into this match. I mean, obviously they have Vayne, who is the biggest late game champion that is in the game of League of Legends. So as long as they play their cards right and they don't get completely shut out here, they will be able to, they will have a chance to come back from this. So they just need to play smart and pick their engages wisely.
Yeah, but right
Looks
now,
like
except
Shen
for mid
going in
lane,
on
yeah,
Cho.
Shen continuing to do damage here in this top lane to Cho. Cho does have that, pretty good ability to, sustain, but right now he is losing out in this lane in the top lane, doing fairly good job of farming. He's not too terribly far behind, but he did give up that early kill. Yeah, with the way that the other lanes are going, it's not where you want to be with your Cho'Gath. But we do have 3 members here pushing onto this mid lane. Troll Police is going in there. Cho'Gath is in the area. Is going to get a nice knock up there. The Sona ult does come across, though. Going to land on all 3 members. Rail is there a little bit late to the party, and a huge ultimate there. Shockwave coming out from Fish Pump, and blue team is retreating. Rail using that defensive ulti to get out of there, and actually overall 1-for-1 as Caitlyn did go down in that interaction. And they did lose Sejuani, though, in the process as well. So with that, that was a really just a clutch Janna ulti, I think, was kind of the story of that fight.
Yeah, that was a really good disengage right there. Things started looking really bad as soon as Sedge had gone down. And, she decided, we got the kill. We lost our jungler, but we got their ADC. That's a good trade. Let's just go ahead and back out here. So Diana managing to pick up a kill right there. She just back, now she's got that needlessly large rod. So she's going to come back in here. She's going to be putting out a good amount of damage, after she backs and buys. So she's actually going to be able to get in here and start doing that immense amount of burst that she needs to do. That's what Diana does. She needs to just Q on her target, get that, get that moon. I'm trying to think what it's called. The moonlight. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
She's got to get that moonlight onto her target and then just ult over to them and just beat their face in with her sword. So now she's going to be able to start doing that, which is really, really excellent for the blue team. They have these huge carries. They just need to get in here and secure them a little bit of, gold so that they can actually get caught up completely here with the red team. So we should have Dragon coming up in the very near future here, if I'm correct. So blue team's they really need to make sure that they get some wards out on that. They need to make sure that they're pinking it and that they're there when it spawns so that they can either take it or contest it from the red team. Because if red secures another dragon, it's only gonna put blue team just that much further behind. And looks like Janna might be getting caught out in the bottom lane here.
Yeah, Sona has been using that slow, the power chord slow from her celerity, and it really just very well. That's kind of one of the most underestimated of her abilities. Obviously you got really potent power chords coming out of that. Of her Q. What is that? Hymn of Valor. But yeah, I mean, she just has a really versatile toolkit, and using those slows to lock down Janna just so that Vayne on Caitlyn can get a little bit of damage there. But it looks like they may be posturing in the mid lane. Shen does have his ultimate ready, so he is going to be in the top lane, but all other members of Team Red are in the mid lane currently, really trying to push down this mid turret. That would be a good pickup for them. They need to start looking at more global objectives here, as they do have that ticking time bomb of Vayne, which is continuing to level and grow, and is not terribly is only is 20 farm behind Caitlyn. But overall, just based on how that lane was going, it could have been a lot worse. But that mid turret is going to go down, another 1,000 gold or so for Team Red, and they're going to try to pick up Dragon off the tail end.
Yeah, I mean, they put that pink ward down, so I think they probably have this dragon time. They know that it's going to be coming up very soon. Blue team looks like they're going to try to gravitate over here to maybe get a kill. We have to keep in mind Shen still has his ultimate, and Cho'Gath is going to be stuck up here in the top lane if they try to make a play for it. Dragon just spawned now, so it looks like Red could go in here and try to make a play. It would end up being a 5v4 in favor of the red team. So it looks like Sona's going to go ahead and start the engage. Caitlyn running back up. Vayne closing in as well. So it looks like we might have a huge fight break out here. Cho'Gath actually deciding to run down into the mid lane. So we might see a full out, our first full 5v5 here at Dragon. So this will be very interesting to see how this plays out. And we have a little bit of poke going off. And I'm waiting for the hard engage here. Who's gonna
Yeah.
make the first move?
We'll see here. Both teams just very tentative, looking to try to gain a positional advantage. But now that Cho'Gath is there, it would be a 5v5. So it looks like Team Red backing off just a little bit. They're going to let that Shen split push here in the top lane and really try to force Blue into making the first move. And they're a little bit split up there. You've got, 4 members here on the left side of the top side of the dragon. And how's the Soup Nazi? A little bit out of position. Trying to tumble over that wall, and they're actually going to go ahead and back off, realizing that they didn't have the position. And and here we go. The dance continues. The dragon has been started. It is a little under half health right now, but Red backs off as Shen gets in the top lane. But it is going to be an initiation by Troll Police. Scuba Steve trying to, or less Scuba getting in there rather. But Fish Pump does get that Shen ulti, and so he is going to be safe for now. And blue team members are just low left and right. Senna, the only real low member here from Team Red, and he flashes out of any danger that he was in. On the backside of this fight, though, we do have, Cho'Gath picking up a kill onto Caitlyn, and now Liscuba and Jigglypuff looking to get in here and hopefully make some work on the back end of this fight. They do pick up Sona there, but overall a 3 for 2 as Cinnamon Fish Pump are in a safe area there. Shen at basically full health at the end of this fight, and they're going to push up this mid lane a little bit more.
Yeah, now that I mean the pings are coming out, they're gonna go back right in here to get this dragon. At least still has her smite. They have Shen to tank it, so they're gonna be able to secure dragon. But what's more is that they also managed to secure it before this fight even started. Shen managed to secure that top turret, so they're coming out of this not only with the dragon, but they're coming out with that turret gold as well. So this is just further propelling Red Team into the lead. I mean, if we take a look right now, they're about 6.6k in the lead. Almost doubled from what it was last time, and now they have 3 turrets over top of the blue team and 4 kills just at like the 19-minute mark. So things are looking very, very good for the red team, and just not so great for the blue team. Once again, they really need to pick their fights well, and thus far they just haven't been given an opportunity to do that. That Shen ultimate has really just been making plays, and it's just been evening up the matches where otherwise blue team would have an advantage. The good news for blue team is that Cho'Gath, he's getting pretty big. He's got his stacks up, and he's starting to get very, very tanky. As we saw, he just kind of went in there. He killed Vayne, or Caitlyn, whichever you'd like to call her. He just went in there. He secured a kill on her. So it is good because now they are getting some tankiness in their fight. So Cho'Gath, he just needs to make sure that he stays in there with the rest of his team, that he peels for their AD carry, and that he just absorbs all the damage, because he and how's your Soup Nazi were nowhere near each other at the end of that, which is bad for them. They need to make sure that they are together and that he is peeling and silencing everybody who's trying to get on this vein.
Most
That's going to
definitely.
be imperative as these later team fights start happening.
Right, yeah, especially since that Caitlyn has an Infinity Edge. We do have the Blade of the Rune King finished on Vayne, but she's still not going to be hitting her real critical mass here for a while, so that she's going to need some serious protection if she's going to be a factor in this game, as Orianna picks up her own blue buff. But we talk about pressure and how this game is very much about pressure in Season 3, especially this second half, and specifically global objectives. And right now, Team Red is absolutely showing that that's what their focus is, and it is giving them a pretty sizable lead here. The kills are also in their favor, but that's not really where they're getting their lead from so much right now as it is from those global objectives. As looks like 4 members here posturizing the bottom lane for Team Blue as well as for Team Red. They're looking to get some action going. Shen Ultimate is up again already, though. So if they do choose to go on this, Cho'Gath is going to be missing from the fight as any action does go on. A huge ultimate there from PH Pump, and that is going to be a couple kills secured there. Orianna picking up a kill, Shen picking up a kill, Caitlyn picking up a kill, and now How's Your Soup Nazi trying to escape this. Does dodge the stun, but it's not going to be enough as Elise picks up another kill. Shen did join that fight, and you'll see all 5 members of Team Red converging onto this bottom turret, and just another big team fight there from Team Red.
Yeah, I mean, fantastically played. Very smart of Orianna to just throw her orb into that bush right there. If she had walked in blind, we probably would have seen her get bursted down in a matter of, a second. So very smart on her to check that forward. Blue team, as soon as they got spotted out right there, they probably should have just backed out. Like Diana, she decided to actually ult in onto the red team, trying to secure a kill, but she didn't get Moonlight first, so she didn't get the reset on her ultimate timer. So that's a 20-second cooldown that she just incurred onto herself, which is a huge part of her burst and her chase. So engaging with that without having that Moonlight up really kind of screwed her in that fight right there. She should have, well, A, she shouldn't have gone in at all, in my opinion. But B, she should have made sure that she at least had queued first to get that initial damage so that she's got that dash so that she could dash again. Whether it's to get in or get out, she would have that backup. But instead, she just got a little too gung-ho and just went in right there, where in it probably just costs her team that team fight right there.
Yeah, no, and I mean, look what you're jumping into as well. I mean, you're jumping into a Sona ultimate, you're jumping into Command Shockwave from Orianna, and then on the backside, at some point, Shen is going to be coming into that fight with a taunt. And so that's not the ideal place for you to be. And blue team, they're far enough behind right now that they really got to be looking for picks, and it's almost past the team fighting stage for them, and they really need to hope for just to gain a real strong foothold anywhere they can, because they are going to need it coming in as we're 23 minutes into this. The 43rd TowerDive.tv weekly tournament. We're quickly approaching that 52 mark here, and in just another couple of months will be a year for Tower Dive TV. I'm Gil Frost, and this is Achilleos, and we're here for this currently snowballing game for Team Red.
Yeah, Red is. I mean, they established an early control of this match from that first blood with Oriana. So there was a very good start for them, and they have just made sure that they do not falter and that they don't just throw this match. They've maintained their lead since that level. I mean, 2-minute kill, and since then they've just really made sure that they just have this in their grasp. They don't want to give this up. They don't want to be that team that gets that incredible start, and then at the end of it all, they just somehow lose, and everyone just goes, "How did that
Vayne,
happen?"
yeah, you just let Vayne get out of control. No, and I mean, one thing we haven't talked about too much. We talked about a little bit, but the vision that has been a huge part of this game, and I mean, it started with that level 2, and when you talk about that level 2, I mean, it was really just a red advantage on vision, and they turned that into a play. But then over and over again, there really just has not been very good vision coverage here from Team Blue, and they haven't been able to get any picks. They haven't been able to get any footholds because of that. Whereas Red Team, with the vision control, has been able to play safely, pick the right team fights, pick those team fights that they want, and it has been, a huge part of their victory, or their incipient victory here. As they are looking very strong in this game, and they pick up their 3rd dragon, actually.
Yeah, Red Team 3 for 3 right now on these dragons. Just further extending that gold. But there we go. We got a huge fight breaking out right now.
Yes, indeed. Sun jumps in and does get that ball initiation off, as PH Pump had that ball off, picking up a kill onto Diana. The Sona ultimate comes out, is going to hit Troll Police and Jigglypuff. They're trying to do what they can on the back end. Rail had a nice ultimate earlier there to disengage a little bit, and they're actually not doing too fairly bad in this fight. Caitlyn, though, picking up a double kill, and now it's just Soup Nazi and Rail. Rail playing that support role, is going to try to get out of there, gives the triple kill up to Caitlyn, and now the chase goes on to How's Your Soup Nazi. Sona desperately trying to get that speed boost in for PH Pump, but they're going to go ahead and take a 4 for 0 overall after that fight, and take this inhibitor. And once again, actually, Senna being brought fairly low, but just once again remaining alive. And she has been the target, the focus very often in these interactions, but always seeming to come out on top, using her toolkit to stay alive.
Yeah, she did a really fantastic job right there. I mean, she had Vayne just essentially fully channeling all of her, her silver bolts directly into her. But she managed. She had a really well timed repel right there. I think if she had waited any longer, she probably would have seen herself getting condemned into a wall, if not just dying from auto attacks from Hauser Soup Nazi. So very well timed on her part right there. But yeah, like you said, she's doing a really good job of managing to stay alive. I mean, right now she's 3-0-7, so she has a presence in these team fights. She's coming in, she's doing her, she's doing her fair amount of damage, but she's also supporting her team with that really good kit that she's got. Her cocoon is an amazing stun for her to contribute to team fights. So she's really doing a great job of being in here, doing what she needs to do, and keeping herself alive. So good on
Good
you,
on you.
Sina.
Right, yeah, and that's 3-0-7 score is it's definitely helping her team out right now. And it looks like Team Blue continuing to try to battle back and moving up here in the mid lane, trying to make sure that they protect this middle turret as much as they can. But currently, Team Red getting the ward coverage all around this Baron pit, and they will be able to push and do just about whatever they want right now with the ward coverage that they have, as well as the lead that they have, which is currently 12.1k. And to add insult to injury, they're picking up some ward kills as Rail tries desperately to get those wards out there. Bull supports right now with the Oracles, but Baron is going to be started here actually by Team Red, and I don't know if they need to do this. Vayne is in the bot lane, so she's going to have to run like mad to get to this top lane in order to do anything as Shen sets up as a blocker here. But that Baron is going down very quickly, and they do pick it up, and they are going to turn on to Jigglypuff, Lascuba, and Rail, and a Sona ultimate comes out as well as that Fish Pump ultimate, and Shen getting in there to keep that Elise alive for now. Lascuba pops that Zonius to try to stay alive, but blue members falling left and right. A triple kill actually for the mid laner there in Oriana. And how's your Super Nazi once again fleeing this fight, but it's going to be in vain as Shen actually picks that up on the back end with a nice taunt under the turret. And that is going to be that could just about spell defeat here.
It looks like we're actually going to see a surrender vote come out right now. So blue team opting to surrender against red. So very well played by them. That was a very nice inadvertent pun that you made.
Right. Spell defeat.
Vayne dying.
How do you spell defeat?
Making efforts in vain. But
right.
wow, yeah, red team just dominating that match from the get-go. Very well played by them.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, and I mean they just applied pressure consistently throughout that game. They had it all planned out. I mean, and they definitely made some good plays in champion select, and it's just all throughout the game. A very smooth game here from Team Red. Don't go anywhere. We will be back for some more games here shortly. Once again, this is Gilfrost and Achilleos here for the 43rd Tower Dive TV Spectacular.